Evening. We are starting a new series this week called Friending. Welcome back to House Groups, by the way. Hope you had a great Christmas break. This week, we're talking in particular about the friendship crisis that is hitting America, as perhaps best summarized by King Solomon's words in Ecclesiastes 4, where he says, "Pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up." I think, unfortunately, that anyone is all too many of us in this culture. We're lonely, and worse yet, if we were to fall, there might not be anyone there to pick us up. For many of us, I think we haven't yet really thought that critically about how our culture has brought upon this friendship crisis that we're in, and really how our own choices have contributed to that as well. I read an article just this week actually about this guy who's a professional researcher who had spent a significant amount of his time researching the Amish. And it was really fascinating. He commented on how the Amish have welcomed in some technological advancements, like a modern medicine, for instance, but they've completely rejected others, like TV and the internet, even the automobile. And he wrote the reason the Amish have rejected things like television is because television, much like just engaging streaming content or much of the content we engage on a smartphone, it's just a one-way conduit to bring another society into your living room. It's not a conversation, it's not a friendship. And then he talked about how the Amish believe that even the car has destroyed friendships. Which, if you don't think about it, your first inclination might be, what? How in the world has a car destroyed friendship? And he goes on and he talks about some of the interviews he's had with the Amish about the automobile, and he said one of the things they always say is, as soon as you have a car, your ability to leave your local community and thus not rely on your local community becomes significantly easier. Like, you don't have to rely on your neighbor for eggs when they run out. You literally can just take 30 minutes and go to the store and come back. But if you have a horse and buggy, that's like a half day process. So you're not going to do that. You're going to walk over to your neighbor and you're going to ask for some eggs. And so in Amish society, they know their neighbors and they know their friends. But our lives run completely contrary to that. Like, we're not even 100% sure what our neighbors' names are, so there's no way we're going to go over there and ask for an egg. I mean, rather than share a lawnmower with our neighbors or share a snowblower or any of those things, we each buy one. Rather than ask a friend to help us fix an appliance or a car or a device, we pay a stranger to do it. See, our society is structured around convenience and this idea that we can solve all of our problems with our money. And I just think we need to reprioritize a lot of things, and particularly how we look at friendship. Now, listen, being in house groups is an amazing first step. Just by being in a house group, you are way ahead of the average American. But this isn't enough. What you're doing is a great start, but there's more that can be done. So you're beyond the average American because the average American just has a sort of a larger list of acquaintances. You now, by being a part of this group, whether it's your first time here or you've been here for years, you have this family of 30 people around you. You're going to have a small group of 7 people. And that's great. But then the danger of that is you still could come here even for the next 2 years, and no one, if you don't let them, no one could really know your fears, your hopes, your struggles. And so, if we're really going to prioritize friendship, it has to happen outside of these nights too. And so, as we sort of begin and kick off this study of friendship over the next 4 weeks, I want you to just begin to think about how can you reprioritize your schedule for friendship. Amen.